Good morning, April 13th, 2021, here in Banff National Park and pretty much everywhere except for Australia and parts of Asia, where I think it's the next day already. Not sure. Or it's been this day there for a while and they're closing down their day and it's probably evening and somewhere. Not that that matters, except half of Australia is here anyhow. So maybe they're waking up, maybe they aren't. I switched my phone Siri to the Banff accent. It's an Australian girl. I get that for you, mate. You're right on there, mate. That's my Banff accent. Good day, mate. Anyhow, it is getting warm out there. How you guys been, man? I'm doing the hippie tea thing this morning. I normally don't drink tea, but I'm kind of microdosing these days. Mmm. Mmm. Earl Grey, hot, just like Captain Picard. Hey guys, let's take a look at some of, hey, check this out. Get set up first, go full screen. This is when coming out of Bow Hut a couple weeks ago. No. There's Avon the Raven, man. Doing full screen. Told her, go, get out there. Right? Because there was that big open snowfield, and I thought, that tracks, it would look great setting tracks down this thing. You can see the big heavy pack that she's got. She's 13, so you got to keep in mind, And she skis all right, though, for 13. Better ski all right. Freaking all the times I've had to wake her up and scream at her and get her down for breakfast so she can go to her ski lessons. For years and years. The crying, the pain, the pity, the pure agony. But it's worth it now. So there's Bow Hut in the background. Do. Got another one. This is with Nahani, this one. This is my other daughter, the oldest one. Unit number 1, we call her. And she is, I told them both to ski together. So I'd get a shot of them. So that's little sister, 13, 26. So 13 years older. Actually, Nahani's a great mentor for Avon. Nahani's an artist. She's making a living as an artist by, like all artists, starting out. She's doing other things. Bang, bang. Yeah, they're having a blast. Maybe we got one more for you, huh? Hey, one more maybe? I think I only got one with any skiing in it. So you're wondering what Bow Hut? Bow Hut is actually the ideal place for people to start out skiing, for ski mountaineering anyhow, because it has a hut access, which is, just one thing less that you have to deal with. Although I did see a lot of people were doing more camping up there. I'd like to go up there and build a permanent igloo, like a full-size igloo, like 20 feet across sort of thing, and just bury that in snow, and then you'd have that to hang out in. You can't use permanent snow caves or anything because the chances of them for collapsing. You can use them for a day or two, but they get water saturated, and depending on how much snow you have over top of you, I found those things to be. There are times when I've had, like way over my head, the roof, and I woke up in the morning and the ceiling had just slowly sagged down to be like within inches of my nose. If that whole ceiling had collapsed, I would be stuck there. I couldn't move. And then I would just, whatever, die, I guess. Yeah, well, war is hell. Oops. Easy to love and they're harder to hold. Dang, these are all the people coming up while we were going down. That was a good one. That was a good weekend. That's Aben's first ski mountaineering trip. So that was fun. You know what we should do though, guys? We should take a look at conditions because it's quite interesting this week. Um, what have I got for you? Here we go. Check out Avalanche Canada. Let's flip that over for you. Bang, there you go. So you can see that they have gone through this. This is quite a contrast, though. Eh? Look at this, where Kananaskis has gone 3 times mod. Banff Park has gone 3 times considerable. And why would they do that, you ask? Because of the extreme heat. We're going to be the hottest over the next few days than it probably has been all year long. And there's a lot of crusts inside that snowpack. That stuff might start to break down. And they're going to go 3 times considerable tomorrow, and then on Friday going high, which is one of the very hot days. But 3 days of hot weather. So, here's the thing, you guys don't. It doesn't mean you can't go skiing. It just means you have to sort of modify your plans a little bit. So you might be wanting leaving the parking lot at around 6 in the morning. Travel on the nice, easy, frozen ground. Get up into your spot as it starts to warm up and the crusts start to soften up a little bit and skiing gets a little better. Rip the hides, go for the ride, and then come on back down to the car. And it's 1 o'clock, noon. Because this probably, what worst case scenario is that it's going to break up, or that it's going to just completely disintegrate by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the world is going to fall apart. The other thing too right now is cornices have been falling like crazy. Mount Stanley, there was some guys climbing the slope on this right-hand side just below the summit. They got a whooping on the slope, steep slope, 40 degrees, and they remote triggered a cornice about 500 meters away, which hit another slope, which fortunately was separate from the slope they were on, and triggered a size 3, which rode down and onto the upper glacier of Mount Stanley. So that would have been terrifying, right? You feel a slow settlement, it goes poof, like that, and suddenly you hear the cracking of a cornice, and then there's raging, tons and tons of snow and rock raging over the cliffs. Be like, fuck me, man, I want out of here. I'm going to take up something else. It sure isn't going to be this. But the hazards are low in the morning and they intensify, and by noon upwards, they're going to increase terribly. You might want to find something, go tune your mountain bike or something on Friday. Saturday is another warm day, not quite as warm. And then Sunday has a cooling trend into it, and that may bring that avalanche hazard back down again, I would suspect. There's precip expected on Sunday with a high of only 2 degrees. So we're going from 10 to 15 degrees down to 2 degrees, which in the alpine and in subalpine tree line, that is going to tighten up that snowpack. And that precip might be just good enough to compensate for all that melt freeze in the surface snow. Surface snow is going to get wet in a lot of locations. All solar aspects are going to get some sort of melt freeze thing going and some surface percolating. Yeah, so that's that. Here's another thing. Where did that go? Look at this Parks County. I don't know if it's just me. You guys tell me, but I think this is a dumb fucking thing, right? putting tracks down this fucking glacier in on Athabasca. This is one of the most heavily crevassed areas in the Canadian Rockies that I know of. And I know a few of them. And there are other pictures. The other thing too here is like I'm looking at this, and it looks like they're up track because I don't see it going up in here. I see something there, but looks like their up track took them right underneath this whole cliff. Look, you're walking underneath this fucking tons and tons of ice and snow and cornices on the top, down onto with slopes below, and you're gonna walk underneath that. Look at this thing just cabbed a piece of ice there and hit the slope below. The powder cloud is gonna run right across where their tracks were. It's just not like a ski area, right? There's so many other places you could go rather than that. Go to Cromwell. It's just down the road. It's got some great skiing on there. Hilda area would be good. K3, or whatever they called it, Hilda Peak. That's Sunwapta National Park. But anyhow, this is kind of a dumb idea here. I think putting in a ski line on this. I'm gonna call them as I see them, folks. Dumb. Whoever put that in is a dumb motherfucker. What else do we got going on? Let's take a look at the weather. So here's the weather forecast I was talking about. 10, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 on Saturday. Saturday's the day 13, they're calling for 3 times high, so it'll probably be 3 times high again on Saturday. Whether this is going to settle out with these cooler temps, but it's not that much cooler, right? That's completely different from what I got in the Weather Network. What's the Weather Network say? Weather Network. I wonder how they could be so different. 7-day forecast. 3-6-8. So Sunday we're calling for 3-6 precip. It'll be definitely be precip in the Alpine. So you know if it's this warm and then drops down a little bit, you might be able to squeak another week or two skiing out of this week anyhow. Possibly, depending on how much it goes. But guys, get over it. You're gonna have to drop them boards and pick up them mountain bike handles here pretty soon. Guys want to take a look at Lake Louise? Yeah, Joe, let's look at Lake Louise. Okay, I think I got it drawn up here. Banff weather, new tab. Look at webcams, round shot webcams. This is Mount Assiniboine. You believe I climbed this fucking thing 13 times? Jesus. If I ever go to Assiniboine again, it'll be too soon. But I guess I gotta go. I gotta take Avon up there. There was this one time I was in here and like this storm came rolling. It's early morning lightning. You know how that thing happens in the hot summer days. And I just got spooked off. I don't know. Decided today wasn't the day I wanted to die, but I had a client. I said, oh, I got to do something because it kind of, whatever, you know, we're up here and we got another day at the hut. So I came up here, we climbed this slope on Sturdy, went to the summit, looked to the west, this way. Not a cloud all the way to Vancouver, man. I could see Vancouver. You could see the smog above Vancouver. So I had to do, wow, it's like, oh man, that kind of really blew that, eh? So I said to the client, you know, there's a bench right here about this elevation, and you can walk right around to the backside of the mountain. And the backside of the Assiniboine isn't quite like this, and you can actually scramble up the backside with a little bit of hands-on, you know, low-end 5th class. So I had my rope, and bang, I just took the client. We went in, and there was some rafters. Some young kids came up here, and they were climbed up to the summit, and they were on their way down. We came up to the top, came up the summit, came down on top of them, and like ended up joining past them. Here's this little spot here, right where this is. This is a good place where you can leave a carabiner. So, yeah, okay, well, yeah, we were going to go look at the weather at the round shot. And there you go, baby. Lake Louise in all its glory. Probably a little skied out, especially with these warm temps. This isn't going to last very long. We'll watch this over the next few days. This snow is going to get compacted and compacted and compacted, especially when we're talking about temperatures plus 15. And with the snow being the way it is going into the Alpine, I don't know if you're going to get up there and down in the same safely, right? So you might want to think about that when you're. Let's go back to trail conditions. Do, 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 do. Sunshine's looking good too, eh? Look at all the delirium dive. The most overrated piece of snow. It is a pretty cool valley though, like our Alpine Bowl in here. So it is pretty cool when you're in there. Once you're in there, you feel pretty damn small. You kind of climb over and down into it. Cream and some of the other runs in here. And goat's eye. So side shoots. These things aren't going to last very long. They're just going to be icy crusts. But they are good skiing when they are good skiing, that's for sure. And Wild West should be the most preserved of the extreme double blacks in the area, is over right in here. It's a good time for me to go do my wrap route. I can wrap off goat's eye, set up some anchors and bolts in there. And wonder if we can see that from the parking lot cam. There it is. You can't. It's right over here. You can't see the mountain though. Great Divide cam. Look at that, eh, baby? Sunshine does have pretty good scenery. Well, all the Rockies is, but it's away from the highway. It's too bad about that damn gondola. I suppose the only other problem with Sunshine is most of it's above tree line. Like, got a little bit below tree line, but whenever it whited out, whenever you get a whiteout or a storm, there's nothing for reference. Like this is just one big freaking ping pong ball that you're skiing inside of a cloud. So I always find it difficult when there's those conditions. I don't know what Sunshine's doing these days. They fired all their senior staff so that they could pay less through this COVID thing. I think they were just looking for an excuse. They try to change out their senior staff every few years. That way nobody's going to, make noise of wanting to unionize or get paid a fair wage for your job. I find the Skirfields to be a disgusting family that own that ski hill. The hill's okay. It's a nice family hill and stuff like that. The management is actually pretty bad. Don't have much respect for those people at all. The 210, we were at 230 the other day, so we got 20 centimeters of settlement in over 5 days, which doesn't surprise me. Especially with these warmer temps, we're going to see more settlement in this snowpack. We'll come back, check this the next time that I do one of these things. Parks Mountain Safety. What do we got going here, baby? Alberta Hiking Association. What are the Alberta Hiking Association? Heart Mountain. That's the time of year now. It's heart time, man. Grant McEwen Peak and Hart. High Point. I don't know what that means. 3,200 meters? I don't know if that's... Well, those guys went right across the thing. Let's have a look at their slideshow, guys. Okay day. Exshaw. Sun's coming up. They left early. That's morning sun, right? Ooh, a couple of shady looking characters, though. My God. Wouldn't want to meet them in the dark canyon on a Saturday night. Here's the ridge. You walk over to this, then up over here. Mm-hmm. Looked like he had a pretty decent camera in his hand. Pretty low res photos, though. And they're just wearing their spiky boots that are poles. And I want to go do that. I'm looking for something to do. I need a workout. I gotta start getting back in shape, guys. Never let yourself go out of shape because it's so hard getting back. Interesting shot, eh? Catching the sun through the eye of the ice axe. His buddy in the thing kind of framed him nice too. Huh. Creativity. Little foreground is the snow. Big mountains in the background. Yamnuska. Yeah, I'll be hiking over that puppy pretty soon. People are already hiking over Yamnuska. I don't know about with the recent snow that we've had, but by the weekend there'll probably be packs of people out there. So back towards Canmore. Lac des Arcs, I believe, right? Lac des Arcs. Summit Cairn. Cornices, small cornices. That's how cornices form, guys, right? You all know that. Cool, guys. Nice trip. Nice camera. Looks like a Canon, or is that a Nikon? Can't tell. Nikon, I think. Huh. Alrighty. So that's pretty much it. I'm not even talking about ice climbing. Hiking's going to be getting good, but trails are wet and they've been cold. There's lots of new snow. I think it'll be another week or so before the valley bottom trails are going to be a little more conducive to. Anybody hike the caves close to Bragg Creek? Nope. Which one is this? Kushta, Kumusta na? Milan Kumusta na. What language is that, guys? Let's say Philippines. Oh, this chick's like just totally playing it up, huh? Yeah, Philippines, I believe. You go, girl. Use the power, man. You climb that mother. So hikers, you're on your way. Peter Arbic, 21. We have 21 mutual friends, Peter Arbic and I. Jason Waters. Lance. Has anyone hiked the cave close to Bragg Creek? Okay. Bears are out. Check it out. Oh, look at it, sniffing the camera. Don't eat me, bear. Don't eat me. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. Things are pretty good here in Banff. Got clear skies, roads clearing up. Still a bit of snow. It's snow and ice in the morning here. Still cold enough to freeze at night. Things are getting better slowly. Another week or two, we'll have the trails as the skiing deteriorates, which it is going to deteriorate. So, what can I say? Say something, guys. Somebody talk to me. Talk to me. Any last questions? I always get a question just as I leave, and then I know I don't see it. Somebody wanted to know where babies come from the other day. I think it comes from the water. I'm not sure. If I know when I do find out, I'm gonna let you know. Oh yeah, how to chop wood 101. Let's do that. Now, first off, you need a chopping block, right? And then you need a chopper. This is me. This is a bow hut. Now you notice how I brace myself, make sure my footing is good, and then I make a straight down cut. And you got to be aware that when this wood is cold like this, like it's frozen, and then there's knots in the wood, you can get a glancing blow, like a really hard glancing blow that pushes the axe off left or right. So you want to go straight down, and you want to keep your legs and body, or not so much your body, but your legs and feet clear where the axe could actually zip off to the side if it hits a knot in the frozen wood, right? Because an axe in the hands of somebody who doesn't know how to use one is, well, that is just plain crazy. Here you go, chopping wood 101. Okay. Till we meet again. Hey, Eric, how's it going, buddy? Not much, man. I'm going to, like I do every morning, this is a day that I'm going to start exercising harder and going for longer runs and doing some stretching. And just like every morning, I'm probably not going to do that. But I will this time. This time for sure. This isn't like every morning. This is like this morning. You were asking about rappelling yesterday, backing up. I'm hungover. That's my natural state. Hungover. I'd be sick if I wasn't hungover. I know if I woke up in the morning feeling healthy, I know there was something wrong. So the backing up rappel, that is something people do far too much. Because a lot of times they do it where they don't need to do it because the ropes are like freaking sitting on the ground, right? In a nice clean cragging area, and you watch them and they're rapping and rapping and rapping, and then they're trying to drag the rope down and keep the thing from jamming up, and they're not that good at it. And a lot of times too on big multi-pitches, if it's still fairly clean rock, you might back up, the first person down might back up the rappel till they get to the anchor. If there is an anchor, if you have to build one, you definitely back up the rappel. The only thing I do every time, doesn't matter what, is even if the ropes are on I don't know why. Well, maybe I don't do that when the ropes are on the ground, on a cliff, but I tie knots in the ends of the ropes. And the last 3 or 4 serious rappel accidents that were a matter of fatalities could have been solved by just putting a knot in the end of the rope so that your belay device can't run out off the end of the rope. Because you remember when you're rappelling, right, and that rope, and you just got your whole body weight on it, that's a big elastic band filled with potential energy. That energy is all stretched out into that rope, and then the minute that the weight is taken off that rope, go through your belay device up into the sky, and you have just enough time to pull out the sign that goes, yikes, just like the coyote, and then you fall in slow motion. And then you hear, you don't want to do that. As my friend J.C. Trepanier used to say, or a big pancake. But, yeah, JC's gone now. Died of a heart attack on every rappel, pretty much. But report for her, she doesn't seem to be doing in school with this COVID thing for her that much. Taking grade 8 over again. Wednesday, the 14th.